It's Real Fit Radio with B
and J.LOU.
If this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Turn into a ghost, save, hustle, invest, and disappear. You don't need an audience to achieve greatness. You need to focus.
I like that.
I like it too.
Worry about yourself.
Worry about yourself all the time.
All right. I hope that you guys are tuning in the best of health and spirits. Without further ado, we're going to jump right into the meat and potatoes of the podcast. How to win the day.
How do we win? It was a joke.
How do we win? The first thing that I've been focusing on is being intentional. And the reason why I wanted to talk about how to win the day is because I think in the grand scheme of things, when you look at all of the items on the to-do list or taking in the big picture, you can become overwhelmed. I know I do. So when I wake up, it's like I just want to win the day. But how do I do that? How do I win the day? Being intentional in what I'm going to accomplish that day. When you set those things in stone, like this is not a full completion. This is a to be continued. If I can get it done, great. If not, it'll continue to roll over until it gets done. But you do have to have some stuff on the list that you're actually knocking out. It just brings like the gratification you need. I know for me, I do, to, feel like you're accomplished in a sense and you win the day. When you're working on stuff or you have things that are out of your hands, you've done all you can do, it can become very frustrating because you just kind of like wake up, repeat, and you're not seeing any leeway, any progress. So winning the day for me is being intentional, creating a list of items for that day. And sometimes I've heard where people will say, do your list the night before, your power list or your to-do list or whatever it is. I find that it's better for me to kind of do it when I wake up because the things that I wrote down the night before, I may not have the same energy or mindset to actually be fully invested in doing those things. So I do it when I wake up. What do I feel I can give energy to today? And identify on those lists, and I say like italicize or bold, these are things that will be finished today so that I can feel accomplished that I won the day. And then there's some on here that may roll over. But it's so important to have it in your mind that you're going to win, and there is the finish line is in sight, because if not, you just keep feeling overwhelmed. I know that's what I've been feeling sometimes, where I just wake up and it's like, okay, I'm doing the same thing and it's not finished. So yeah, winning the day, that's what it looks like for me. That is my intent, and hopefully with this insight, if you're not already doing it, you'll start being very intentional and focused on winning the day. Not life. Like with football, as Lou always alludes to sport, inches.
Now, for me, I definitely feel like what helps me out is what you said about prioritizing which objectives on the list are the most important. Because normally what happens with me, I'll write the list, no matter if I write it at night or I'll write it in the morning or whenever I start to think about it. If I don't get everything on the list done that I wrote down, I just be having this blank look on my face, and be always mess with me talking about, don't be so hard on yourself. As long as you got something done today, like something productive, you should be fine and happy with what you accomplished. So that's one of my tidbits, or a piece of advice for anybody that feels that way when they're out there and it's like you're making these task lists and it's 10 things long. If you get 3 or 4 of those things out the way, don't be so hard on yourself like, damn, I didn't get all 10 things done. Because, just like any other day or that you live, you already know, if you're an adult, things come up where you have to make adjustments throughout your day. So you have this list going on, and in your mind, if you have the time to get everything done, then that's great. But we all know going into the day, you're doing stuff and it's like, oh yeah, you have all the intentions in the world of getting these things done, but you can't help what the day brings. So you have to, keep that in mind when you're looking at your list. And then when those things occur, you just prioritize which thing is the most important that you feel you need to get done that day, and then you roll that stuff that was incomplete to the next day. The other thing that I try to keep in my mind as well is the word sacrifice, and I mean that meaning if you do have a list, big or small, you have to pick the lesser of two evils. And what I mean is you either have to wake up early or you have to stay up late. One of the two. Like a lot of times I feel when I don't get something done, it's because I was being lazy. I didn't get up early enough to where it's like I could have got this done, or B, I didn't stay up late enough to get it done. So you just have to pick the lesser of two evils. Either you're going to stay up late or you're going to wake up earlier to get whatever it is you're trying to get done. Because I've done it before where it's like I woke up and that's like, yeah, but working out or washing the cars was big on my list or whatnot. But I either woke up, like I said, I woke up too late. I could have got it all done in the morning. Then we get to moving around, running errands, and those errands become chilling and stuff while we're out and going to eat somewhere. And we come back and we have no more daylight. And it's like, you gonna wash them cars at night? Yeah, I'm gonna do. Nah, wait till the morning to do that.
And now a quick moment from our sponsor, Journey of a Legend.
You. Yeah, you. What's your passion? Purpose. Every day you try, you succeed. The time is now. Journey of a Legend. It starts with you.
If you want to learn more or purchase merchandise, go to www.journeyofAlegend.com.
So I think those two things really help me a lot is, like I said, prioritizing which thing is the most important to get done that day if I can't get it all done, and picking the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. When you were talking, I thought about another thing. Don't overcomplicate it. Listen to your body. If you have the option of not having to go and be amongst others, if you work from home or you're an entrepreneur, whatever it is, if you have it within your power you don't have to be in the store with a bunch of other people. I recently, with the pandemic, it started me on it, but I started ordering everything online, trying to figure it all out. But that was a good thing that came out of the pandemic for me specifically, because even with curbside pickup and stuff like that, those little things help with winning the day. You feel with your body and emotionally like, I really don't want to, push a basket around a store. I really don't want to dive too deep into anything that's going to require me using a lot of brain power today. So these things may seem small, but they're still things you need to get done. If it's cleaning out the refrigerator, like you said, washing the cars, mopping your floor, Swiffering the floor, creating a meal plan, making of the meal for tomorrow, meal prep. Things like that are still winning the day. I think sometimes when you hear win the day, you're thinking something really big has to happen. Those small things are what assist with the big things. You make poor choices with food when you're not prepared and you go out and you eat fast food. So if you have time to, or you intentionally, prepare the meal just for the next day. I'm not saying meal prep for a whole week. That can become a lot. If you order it curbside and now you don't have to go inside the store and push the basket around and look for stuff. Somebody else did that for you. And maybe you don't feel like putting on clothes. Some people like to get dressed, or, when I go out, I still have to have this. If I'm sitting in the car waiting on groceries, I can put a cap on, have a little romper, or some sweats, nothing where I would be, I'm not going to say not presentable, but where I'm having to fully get myself together because I'm going to be amongst people. It's literally go curbside pickup. They come out, give me the food. Thank you. Here's your tip. Back on the freeway, home, unloading the groceries, like that kind of outfit. But those things too are winning the day. Don't overlook that. Where it's like, all I did was rake the backyard. All I did was create, food list, or look up on the internet, healthier choices, whatever it is. These are things I'm making reference to or giving examples because these are things I'm doing as of right now that I'm finding are really easy things. Making the bed, vacuuming your floor, all these things. Don't discard them where it's like, that's not winning the day. Whatever your body tells you physically and energy and emotional wise, if you can adapt. We do it all the time. Even when I had a 9 to 5, it's some people I just was not having conversations with at work. I just wasn't going to do it. They weren't getting that from me that day. I knew when I went in. You ever have that talk in the car? I'm gonna go up in here. I don't have to hear what so-and-so said. I'm not sending no emails back. I'm putting that on hold for, I'll talk to them about that next week, because I know that's not going to be a short conversation. It's going to be a long one, so on and so forth. When you wake up in the morning, listen to your body and do those same things. Okay, I don't feel like getting dressed today. I don't feel like all the extra stuff or dealing with anybody back and forth. I'm not even mad. I just don't have the energy for it today. So I'm going to keep this real simple. I'm going to order this online. I'm going to go ahead and get to that refrigerator, whatever it is. But just be intentional about winning your day and don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah, I got one more while I was hearing you talk, and it came from off the grocery store run. Mm-hmm. If you have a teammate, a husband, wife, roommate, best friend, or whatever, and you guys stay in the same place, utilize them sometime for some of the stuff that you have on your list. That's always helpful for me. I know it be little things that I'll be like, I gotta go over here and run to the bank to get some money out, or I have to go by the store and go pick up this, some water or something, whatever it is. If that's on your list and it's like, and like your day is gonna run over, and again, this is for people who have this set up, hit your teammate up and be like, hey, could you run an errand for me, or could you do this, whatever that particular thing that you needed to get done. Ask them, could they do it? And I'm sure they're open to doing it for you, and that way you getting something knocked off and you're not utilizing a whole bunch of energy. And then flip side of that, I know sometimes I've went in the store for you when it's not a list that's overly complicated or something like that. I'll go in there, she don't even have to touch the store, and I'll just go in, and that's still something that's off her list that got done, and she didn't have to lift a finger. So that's a useful tool as well if your setup is like that. I just thought about that a moment ago.
No, that's smart. That's smart. Use your support systems. Well, I have nothing else to say on that topic.
Ooh, this was a short give and go.
All of them will be like this if I've made my point, whatever it is. If not, I'm just going on and on. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggested topics, or you want to keep this conversation going, shoot us an email at realfitradio@gmail.com. Our podcast drops every Monday. You can catch a snippet of any of the latest on our Instagram at realfitradio. If you're not following us, you definitely should be. As always, we hope this inspired, impacted, or empowered someone. Until next time.